You tuned into another episode of Not the Average Local Rapper, hosted by yours truly, Eshore Ridge. First and foremost, man, I can't say it enough, man. I appreciate everybody that's listening and hit me up, let me know they enjoy the podcast, encouraging me to keep going. Definitely gonna keep doing that, and also, gonna add more to it. Eventually gonna have some guests on here. Chop it up, do interviews. Get some artist music playing on here, get some feedback, kind of, get give artists, some helpful insight, get them in the right direction, man. It's always helpful when somebody can actually tell you what's helpful instead of, just being critical without any kind of advice. A lot of people just like to be negative and not even really have any kind of constructive advice. So definitely want to start getting into more of that in future episodes. But in the meantime, I just try to talk about the things that a lot of artists are currently going through. And like I could talk about just more things in general, but it's like I try to keep it to where the discussion is about things that we all kind of experience, and how I handle it, might be able to, help the next person on how they choose to handle a situation or something like that. So this episode, man, I think it's like a lot of artists, man, including myself, man, at times like find it challenging to find listeners, you know what I mean? To find, to build your fan base and your audience and your following and shit like that, man. It's just like there's so many people doing it now. I mean, which necessarily ain't a bad thing because I think it's enough out there for everybody, But it's just more about utilizing the platforms the best that you can, to get the exposure because we see it all the time, on these platforms, man. It's like, I mean, I'm mainly on Instagram, but sponsor ads all the time, and I remember when I was running the ads a couple years ago, where it wasn't as popular, but now it's like the way it's set up, it's like you actually see more ads than you do like posts from people that you follow. Like you even see just as many ads as you do posts, or you see more. Like that's what I noticed. Like almost every post is an ad now, cause it's like it's just like that now, man. They jamming with it, like, and I see the difference in it. Like you don't really get as much bang for your buck no more, as far as like how many people you gonna reach when you run your ad, and it's challenging, man. Like, and then like you know it's just, I don't know, man. It's just difficult, man. It's difficult to just gain a a fan base without having some type of strategy and some type of consistent game plan, and that's just kind of what I want to get into, man. And I think the start of that really is like you have to kind of find what lane you in nowadays, man. It's like like I don't really like that whole thing of like you gotta label yourself or put yourself in like some kind of pocket or something, but it's almost like necessary because it's like the base of how you start building your fan base and your following and shit like that. For me, for example, it was like for so many years, I just got on all different type of beats, but like for quite a few years in recent times, it was more like the trap type beats, just because of my main in-house producer. You know what I mean? Shout out to Deuce. Um, that's a lot of what he was making. That's what he pretty much excels in. It was like them 808s and them like trap type melodies and shit. And the way that I was living at the time, and kind of reflected my music, so it all worked out. But now it's like, as I get older, like I realize that I like to be on different type of beats because they fit my content better, my song topics and shit. So I kind of felt like boom bap '90s type beats was more necessary. You know what I mean? In recent times. So it's like a lane for that. Just like it's a lane for like everything else, drill and trap music and club and all of that. So it's like I just realized that, like, until I can really build that cult following and that fan base, I need to just kind of stick with one sound so I can do that. Because if I'm all over the place, then people ain't really going to know what they're going to get from me. And that can kind of be an issue when it comes to, like, people trying to decide if they want to continue to listen to you or not. So I think like, just finding like the main sound that you want to go with. Not to say that you can experiment with other things. I mean, I do it all the time. Like, I get on different types of songs, but as far as like what I push, the sound that I push, and kind of known for now, like, I chose one, but other people may decide that they want to be as versatile as they can, and display it. And I think different things work for different artists. So I don't really think there's a wrong and right way to handle that kind of thing. I'm just speaking from my experience. But once you figure that whole, like, who you aiming for, like the lane that you in, like, it's kind of like, you just gotta build a strategy, like, whatever that may be. I'm not really going to say mine. I'll just say that I decided I was gonna run advertisements a certain way, and that's what I did. And I just I ran the ads, and I just paid attention to the analytics, like, where the music was excelling at the most, the age group, the just shit like that. I think I tried a couple different songs, couple different posts, just to try different things out and see what did the best, had the better results and shit. So it's like you just gotta like experiment, and build your demographic. And that could be a slow process, man. Like a lot of this shit, it don't happen overnight. It takes time, man. And I told somebody the other day on a post, just some random person in the ad, like, they were talking about how they wasn't really getting much growth on Instagram. And I'm just like, man, slow growth is better than no growth, for real. Because it's like, like, that small growth, might turn into large growth at any time, like. So you just gotta stay consistent, man, and just learn from your mistakes, and pay attention to what's working for you and shit like that. I think that's just real important. And then it's like, when you do start to see the growth, it's like, it's a couple different things that you'll see change. Of course, you'll see, like, the amount of followers go up just off running ads alone, because I mean, a lot of them gonna be fake profiles or spam profiles, or they might be real profiles of artists and producers that's just trying to sell what they trying to sell. I mean, it's part of the business. um but so that's where I'm like, I wouldn't really focus so much on, like, the amount of followers that you gain from it, or the amount of views that you gain from it, or even like so much, because it's like, yeah, people liking your shit, that's a sign of showing love. But is it really like a true result. Like if them people aren't going to follow you to hear more, to stream your music or whatever the case may be. And I think a lot of times people may not follow you on social media, or they may not even like the post, but they'll go stream the song. So it's like, you just want to see the results, in the end game, going to your streams and just people really, showing support, man. You want to, well, I can't tell anybody else how to do it, but me, I say, like, just, I like to focus on the real fans opposed to like just the growth of the numbers. Like I've said that in prior episodes, and I continue to say it because I notice, like, who my real fans and supporters are, man. Like I know them by their screen name, like they on damn near every post, man, and I appreciate it, and it's like I would like to see that grow, but in the meantime, I know how I got the ones that I got there, like I was just being myself, making the music I make and running ads, and people organically were drawn to it, man. And I couldn't, me personally as an artist, I wouldn't ask for nothing more. I want the support and the traffic to be organic. I and I'm grateful, for how many people have, reached out and let me know, hey man, I saw your ad and I'm really, feeling what you're doing, man. I'm gonna continue to follow you. Do you have any other music out, shit like that, man? Like it lets me know that I'm doing a lot of things right, man. Obviously, making good music, and then it's like, the ads are effective, so it's like, I just try to, take everything that works and just try to enhance it more. And then, once you do start to, gain that following and them true fans, you just gotta keep feeding them. People, want to, just continue to grow and grow and grow and get more and more and more. And, that's cool. That's always the goal. But it's like, you can't forget about the ones that's already there, though. Like, you got to put them first, actually. I mean, you once you get them, you got to remember how you got them, and you got to keep them there, man. And that's one thing that I've noticed about myself, man. Like I said, I got a good group of people, man, that come through every time I post something. Every time I drop a song, they there, man. And I do what I got to do to keep them there, man. Cause it's like, it's about the longevity with me, man. You got artists that been in the game 20, 30 years and they still not having no problems because it's like, they solidified their sound, and they drew their fan base organically. And once you got a true cult following and fan base, like all you got to do is continue to feed them, and they gonna be there, man. And then that's just what that is, man. Like I'm gonna continue to do it for the ones that's already there, and just do my best to try to bring more in, but I'm gonna put the ones that's already there first, that's just me, man. Because it's about that longevity, man. People's attention spans are a lot shorter. I've said that, in other episodes. And if you're not consistently feeding the people that want to hear your music, then I mean, you can't plan on keeping them around forever. So, there's a bunch of other artists out there that sound similar to you and work harder than you, and that's just the reality of it, man. Myself included. So it's really just about finding your audience and building it up, and and just keep feeding them, man. I think that's, all in all what I'm trying to say in this one, man. It, that's a challenge that a lot of us artists are having, like I said, man. If you don't have like um, either like a really, really good budget to just do it all the time, or if you don't have some type of game plan that's gonna, get you viral one day, then like you can count on the the progress being slow. But I mean, with me, I just always remember what I'm in it for, man. Like I'm in this shit because I love it, and whatever comes after that, that's what that is, man. But it's all subject to the artist, and if you are an artist or you know an artist, um, and you made it this far, man, I hope like what I'm saying, kind of helped you, gave you some kind of understanding or clarity on, how you can build your following up, build your fan base up, and until next time, man, it's been Not the Average Local Rapper, hosted by East Shore Ridge, man. Appreciate you listening. Catch you on the next one.